What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we're going to talk about this behemoth right here, Gambit, who looks wonderful. Aesthetically, super pleasing looking character. I really love the coat and the attention to detail. Netmarble always knocks it out of the park with this, but did they knock it out of the park with everything else? Well, yeah, I think they did. I do not have my Gambit awakened. I don't have him transcended. He's just tier 2. And all I did was equip this uniform. And I can tell you guys, this thing is way stronger. For one, Gambit doesn't have a uniform, so this is really your only option to make him stronger, but it's well worth picking up. It is monstrous. So what did they do for him? Let's talk about it. So the first thing is he has 23,600 energy attack. He has max attack speed, 33 crit rate. He does get a 25% crit rate buff from his fifth skill, which is going to give him 58% crit rate. So he doesn't have max critical rate, but he does have max critical damage, max ignore defense, and max skill cooldown. And as far as Urus, I do have just 5-star energy attack Urus, and that's it. I could put some crit rates in here, maybe some Odin's Blessings if I really wanted to make him OP, but Gambit's pretty freaking strong, guys, seriously. And as far as his skills, they did change actually a lot more than what people actually think. As far as his tier 2 passive, it's exactly the same as it is in his base kit. The one skill, they actually changed this. It was 2 seconds and they changed it to 1 second. And then in the second skill, previously it just had a 2-second stun, but now it has the 2-second stun plus paralyze plus fracture, which is very interesting to me. And then the third skill, before it just had a 4-second fear. Now it has a 3-second fear. It has paralyze. It has a guard hit, 8 hits for 8 seconds. But honestly, the guard isn't worth a crap in World Boss. But in Shadowland, it's definitely going to help. This will protect you in Shadowland. He's going to be a lot better for Shadowland. And he has a 30% attack buff. And that's really where it's at. That is a massive attack buff. And you get that thing instantly. You can cancel this third skill, get the residual damage from the skill, and get the 30% attack buff, which is massive for this dude. The 4th skill is exactly the same as it was before. And then the 5th skill, they actually changed a few little things on the skill. Before, this thing had a 5% chance to penetrate everything for 5 seconds. Now it has a 10% chance to penetrate everything for 7 seconds. Before, we still had all these attack buffs, 25% attack, 25% crit rate, but we also had 10% all speed before, and it lasted for 5 seconds. This uniform has the same buffs, only at minus the attack speed. Now we get an all speed by 1. I guess they did that because we get uniform bonuses and uniform options, I guess. It's really kind of silly that they did that, but maybe you might have to put a Power of Angry Hawk set on your character, but I don't really think so. You can still get attack speed from your uniform bonuses, and I don't think you just need a CTP of Rage. Honestly, regular proc, CTP of Energy is going to be insane on this guy. But they did extend the duration of this attack buff by 2 seconds. It was 5 seconds. So it's actually really cool. Something else to note is, if you notice, it says energy damage 60% of energy attack. Well, in his base kit, it is 50% of energy attack. So they bumped up his damage on this skill as well. And when you preview this, everything else, by the way, is the same. This pass is exactly the same as it was before. And then you have the leadership. And we'll talk about the awaken skill another time. But when you preview this guy's skills, he has some of the most beautiful animations in the game. I absolutely love it. You know, you hit the 5th skill, you can still move around. You have the heal, which is dope. And his cars just go everywhere. You get that explosion at the end. It is massive. The 4th skill is exactly the same. Again, nothing's really changed about it. It just looks cooler. Then the 2nd skill, not bad, but you're not really going to be using it, to be perfectly honest, unless you're in Shadowland. And then the same with the 1 skill. The 3rd skill you will be using. You can hit this 3rd skill, and this thing is instant cancel. You can get this thing instantly. You see the cars coming out, they're spreading, they're smashing, and then we're using our 5 at the same time. And that's really what you want to do in your rotation. You just want to hit 3, cancel 5, move around way out of any kind of obstacles, you know, try to avoid taking any kind of damage, and that's it. It's pretty much 3-5. Gambit plays exactly the same as he always has, which is awesome. I mean, nothing's changed about him. It's just now he's doing more damage thanks to that 30% all attack buff and thanks to the stats that he's getting from the uniform. We'll just hit the awaken skill for the hell of it. Why not? Why not? Why not? Pretty cool, pretty cool. You know what? Let's just turn the SFX on because it actually looks a lot cooler if you do that. However, from the feedback that I'm getting right now, it's actually better just to cancel his awaken skill. Now I'll talk more about this whenever I awaken him, because I do plan on awakening Gambit, because he is an absolute monster, every bit as on par with Moon Knight, or maybe even stronger. In fact, in some cases that I've seen, he is stronger than Moon Knight, that's just a testament to how strong this guy is. But I wanted to show all of you what he can do just at tier 2, just right now, without even having an awakened skill, just by equipping this uniform and nothing else. And I have a stage 6 Power set. I don't even have a fully awakened set. That would add 20% more attack whenever this thing procs. That would make a big difference in my damage. Plus, we'd be getting more stats from our attack ISOs here, if we had them awakened. And then we have a CTP of energy, and this is freaking phenomenal. You know, with this ignore dodge leadership, the 50% ignore dodge, similar to Cable, and having ignore dodge stat on the obelisk, I mean, we're going to have 93% ignore dodge. That's insane. So whenever I get this guy awakened and transcended, I'm just going to be using his leadership. And then his uniform is just at normal. And as far as his uniform, he gets this heal whenever he does the 5th skill. It is a massive, massive upgrade for this character. So the first thing I'll do is I'm just going to show you guys a little damage comparison between the two uniforms. So first we'll equip the base kit here. And we're not going to use any strikers at all. And let's see what he does. And you guys are going to see a stark difference. I mean, he is quite a bit stronger. Just that 30% attack buff really bumps his damage up by 30%. We're not going to use Nick Fury's attack buff. Just Gambit. Alright, we'll hit that 5th skill. Proc triggered almost immediately. And we'll go ahead and pause it. So you can see we got down to a little bit, maybe about a quarter of the way, Now let's see what he does when you put the uniform on his butt. Because it does make a difference. It is crazy. And I actually like the look of this uniform a lot more than his base kit, even though I really love the original look of Gambit. All right, here we go. So we just got to get that attack buff, then 5. And now look at that, guys. Look at that. That is the difference in damage just by equipping this uniform compared to the base kit. Look at that. He did about a quarter of this bar with one 5th skill from this base kit, and he did over half of it by putting this uniform on. There is no comparison. This thing is absolutely destroying the base kit. Now let me show you a couple crazy runs that I did with Gambit in this new uniform. So this is stage 99 against Cull. We are going to be using some damage dealt to supervillain strikers, and that's it. No healing strikers. You know, Gambit's got to heal. We can actually keep them alive, but you definitely have to be careful. And you guys have probably seen this method before. You're going to use Doctor Strange, make sure you time freeze Cull. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this tier 3, let the clones come out, then switch to Weapon Hex, get all that all defense down from both of them, switch to Gambit, and then do 3-5. And in hindsight, watching this, I actually didn't even need to use Doctor Strange's tier 3. You're already getting 100% all defense down from Weapon Hex, and we're already getting all defense down. It starts off at 30% from Gambit. So we would have done just as good without letting the tier 3 play out. We're actually stalling a little bit more, but you know, this is what I'm used to doing whenever I would do this method all the time in the past. So I just kind of stuck to the tradition and kept doing it. But look at him go. Look at him go. He is murdering. And I know, you know, a lot of you are thinking, well, I don't do this. And, you know, this isn't really a feasible thing, but it's something different and cool. I mean, I could have easily shown you guys just a nice long comparison between the differences between the base kit and the uniform, but honestly, there just isn't no comparison. There just isn't. This thing is way stronger. It's a massive, massive upgrade. Even if you keep Gambit at tier 2 and you're just going to play him without having a transcended skill, or I'm sorry, an awakened skill, it's still well worth the purchase. It's a massive upgrade for this character. Big time. But seriously though, when it comes to Gambit, I would just transcend him. This is a character that's plenty powerful enough to invest in, and he will do work against Null. I guarantee it. I've already seen other videos of Gambit being transcended taking down Null. He can absolutely do it. Now, when I get him transcended, I'm going to push him and see, you know, how far he can actually go. Like, can he do a complete solo with no supports at all? Things of that nature. I always like to see if characters can do it because we only have 2 supports, right? That's kind of the thing. We have 2 supports, but we do have characters that can do easy solos like Null, but a lot of people don't have Null. So I kind of like to do those little showcases where you see if a character can actually do a complete solo. And when I say solo, I mean with no support, no CTPs of Insight, nothing like that. All on their own, which Cable could. Cable could easily do it. Now, I don't think Gambit's going to be on that tier. I don't think he's going to be as strong as Cable, but definitely a freaking powerhouse. Like I said earlier, every bit as strong as Moon Knight, if not stronger. And that's insane. That is insane. They really did our boy some justice. I'm very happy. And by the way, this run that you guys are watching, this only took me 1 try. You know, with the time freeze and having all this CC, this is an easy method to do if you really want to do this. I mean, obviously, I could just use Doctor Strange, put in White Fox, and increases all defense down, and murder. I know that. But I thought it'd be fun to show this run, and then the next run will be much more challenging, but still pretty damn cool. And we just about got this licked. I also wanted to show both these runs to show you guys that, you know, there's 2 ways you can actually do Stage 99 with a Tier 2 Gambit that I know of currently, and this is one of them. Then I'll show you the next way. Boom! Like, I don't really need to do that. I could just switch to Weapon X, do a 4 skill, and then switch to Gambit, and boom, shakalaka. So he did this in just a little over 3 minutes, right? And he was only getting a 30% energy attack buff from Doctor Strange, but we were getting the 100% all defense down thanks to bringing in Weapon X before we used Gambit. Now check out this next run. Now, I'm not going to front to any of you. This took me quite a while to pull off. This was a very difficult clear, but I thought it would be cool to show this. So you want to get Nick Fury's attack buff, switch Weapon Hex, use your 4, switch to Gambit, and then do his 3, and then his 5. And melting bars, my friends. 3 bars. Pew! Bye. Bye-bye. And obviously you can see that this method, you're actually doing more damage than what you have with Doctor Strange, and that's because Doctor Strange just gives that 30% energy attack. We're actually getting Nick Fury's 50% attack buff and the 55% damage of the supervillains on top of getting the attack buff from the 5th skill, but we're still getting the all defense down from Weapon X. And this is a beautiful thing about Gambit. He has that 30% all defense down. It starts off at 30%, so it's easily to fill up that 100% all defense down that Weapon X lays down with Gambit. It's easy. I will say, though, sometimes it's a bit inconsistent when you're doing this. I really find that whenever you use Weapon X, let her apply her all defense down for about a minute or about half a second, and then switch to Gambit. There we go, boom. Because sometimes you'll notice that you won't take these bars down like what I'm doing. But it is a lot of running around, because if we get hit by Cull, I mean, if Nick gets hit by him, if Weapon X gets hit by him, if Gambit gets hit by him, you're dead. You're instantly freaking dead. It's like your parents slapping you on the wrist and you're dead from it. That's pretty much what it's like. It is unbelievable. You know, but Gambit is fast on his feet, and that is a nice benefit. Although in the last phase against Cull, I definitely had a lot of problems whenever Cull starts iframing, because he pretty much just jumps on top of you. And that's really why I have Rachel in here. I got Rachel in here for a little extra mind control, even though because of my resist, or really just because of the mechanisms of the strikers with your all defense down and the CC effects in World Boss, their effects just don't work as long as they're supposed to, even when you have max conquer level and max resist. They still don't work like they should. You still don't get the full durations of their all defense downs and their CC effects. But we are getting it for about 1 second, and that does help. It helps actually quite a bit. And there you saw that she did apply her mind control, even though it was for a second. As soon as I saw that, I switched Weapon Hex, I used her 4 skill, and then I switched to Gambit. You know, and what I like to do is I like to use Nick Fury, and I'll use his 4 skill, right? I'll use his 4 skill, and I'll try to bring in Rachel, right? And as soon as I bring her in, I hit that attack buff, then I switch to the 4 from Weapon X, then I switch to Gambit, and then 3, 5. Now there, Cull kind of ran away, got away from us, little bastard, but we still were able to do some good damage to him. And seriously, guys, this was so difficult. Oh my God, I had hell pulling this off, but I was bound and determined. I had to do this. because, you know, this channel is really founded on doing crazy stuff. You know, those of you that have watched this channel for a long time, you know that in the past I would always try crazy, wild, you know, clears. And this really, for me, is up there with them. I really am very proud of this run. It took me quite a bit, and I would challenge anybody out there to try it themselves. See if you can pull it off, because I bet you can. If you really go into it, you can. And there, guys, I mean, seriously, like, you see what I did there? As soon as Cull went an iframe, I switched. Then Cull jumped again. I switched again. These characters, even Gambit on his speed, he's not fast enough to outrun that damn thing. You got to switch your character. Now there, Cull was cleansing. So we're not going to do jack for damage. See, we're not doing nothing for damage. And it gets really crazy right here. Even though we're down to almost 3 bars, we got 1:30 left, it's going to be a lot of running around. Things are going to get crazy, my friends. And I'm going to keep trying to do this method, but there, Cull cleanse, so the all defense down really didn't get applied. Another thing is, you know, because of Nick Fury's immunity bubble, whenever you're inside that, you have immunity. And since you have native super armor, well, not native, but you're getting super armor from Nick Fury, you're not going to get guard broken from Cull. As long as you're in that bubble, you're not going to take any damage unless Cull does the purple attack. And, you know, that's something I really like about these kinds of runs is you're using a lot of strategy to try to get it done. And we're doing it with our main man, Gambit, which is even better. I mean, seriously, to do this even with a tier 2, no awakening, no transcended, you know, to do stage 99 really is bonkers. It really is. And even when you're doing it this way and you're doing out some, throwing out a little cheekiness in a way, it's still cool. At least I think so. Oh, I mean, I can't wait to transcend him. Right now I can, because I actually need Essence of Dimension, which sucks. I can't level up his gears, so I'm kind of screwed at the moment. But hopefully in a few days I'll be able to transcend him and really showcase what he can do. Because this is just nuts. Just imagine if I'd had transcended and I was trying this right here. Just imagine how fast he would clear this. And you see we're coming down to the wire. Cull's going to do 3 purple attacks now. And after this third one, I'm going to go in for the kill. We're going to hit our 5, try to get a little mind control. Then we're going to hit the 4, switch to Gambit, 3-5. And boom! 1 second left to spare. And he could have definitely done this faster if Cull would have been such a freaking annoying bastard, running all over the place, cleansing all the time, doing what he normally does, just being aggravating. But I am loving Gambit. And I really think you should buy this uniform, especially if you plan on transcending him. If not, he'll still put in some serious work in World Boss. And he's going to be insane in Shadowland as well. So let me know how y'all feeling about Gambit, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.